Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. Things are happening very quickly here in Jeff City, and what I've heard from some of you in the last couple of days is there's too much information coming out. We can't follow it all in order or fast enough. On the one hand, I apologize. On the other hand, it is a great problem for us to have to be moving so many gun bills in the committee process so soon. So I'm going to break down where we are on the various bills. I'm cutting this video Wednesday morning at around 11:30 as the snow is falling outside. So here is where things are right now in the various bills. Before I even get to the bills, just want to clarify, I want to remind you all, this is happening because of you. It's happening because of your calls and your emails and your petitions demanding action here in Jeff City. And it's also happening because of what you and I all did as gun owners in the primaries just last year. Everyone knows again now here in the Capitol that if we don't fight for gun rights, let alone if we vote for gun control, if we don't fight for gun rights in Jeff City during session, when we go and stick our neck out to run for higher office, those gun owners will cut it off, metaphorically speaking, if we give them a chance. And so what we're seeing right now is a whole different level of respect amongst the legislature when it comes to the right to keep and bear arms. Now, we're nowhere near having bills become law. We haven't even had a vote yet in the chamber, but as you're about to find out, we have a lot of things that are going in our favor right now in Jeff City. Number one is Senate Bill 23. This is our bill in the Senate with Senator Rick Bratton to reinsert the Second Amendment Preservation Act here in Missouri. This bill has already been passed out of the Transportation Committee in the Senate. It was a 5-2 vote and is now floor eligible for floor action in the Missouri State Senate. That, I think, is the second fastest bill we have ever had move through committee and onto the floor calendar for debate eligibility. We're very, very happy about that. Again, 5-2 party line vote on that committee, and the bill is now good to go for floor action. This bill would simply reinstate SAPA law that we passed here in Missouri in 2021. As you guys have heard probably 100 times now, the courts struck it down, but all the courts had a problem with was language in the introduction of the bill. We have removed that language and we have redrafted the exact same underlying things that made SAPA so powerful. It still says that Missouri cops will only enforce Missouri law when it comes to firearms, ammo, and accessories. It still says the feds cannot use Missouri cops to enforce federal gun control law, either directly or through a federal task force. And it still says that if a jurisdiction like St. Louis, for example, or Kansas City intentionally violates SAPA law, you and I could hold them accountable in civil court for damages. So this is what we need because we're only going to have Trump in the White House for 4 more years, and we have to get prepared for the next radical commie who's going to enter into that building whenever that happens. And now is the best time to do this because with Trump in the White House, with a friendly Department of Justice, now is the time to secure these protections because there's a strong chance we're not going to have to fight in court over this as we did when we passed SAPA under Joe Biden. Now, people have complained to us and said, well, Pam Bondi this and Pam Bondi that. We get it. We alerted everyone about Pam Bondi, but Pam Bondi, as the Attorney General for Rick Scott, who was the governor at that time in Florida, is a very different Pam Bondi as the Attorney General for President Trump in Washington, D.C. And the simple difference is that Donald J. Trump is not Rick Scott. And she's going to play ball the way she's told to play ball. So now is the time to get this done. The other half of that equation when it comes to SAPA is that Thursday morning, tomorrow morning, weather dependent, at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have a hearing on SAPA in the House. On the House side, it's HB 1175. This is a mirror image bill to SB 23. It was filed by Bill Hardwick. And he's great on this issue. He's one of the best to articulate the 10th Amendment and the Second Amendment in the context of SAPA. It's in the House General Laws Committee tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. I'll be there as long as I don't slide in the ditch between my house and the Capitol testifying on your guys' behalf. So much more to come on that. We also have real action on SB 74. This is our other bill that would deal with the problem that we're having right now in Jackson County, Kansas City area, where the county has enacted their own gun control laws in direct violation of Missouri's preemption law. SB 74 would stop all of that by inserting civil penalties into Missouri's preemption law. What these people have done in Kansas City or Jackson County is insane. They knew that this ordinance, which makes it a crime to own ammo or a handgun or an AR-15 unless you're 21 or above, they knew it was unconstitutional. They knew it was illegal. Their own county executive, Frank White, vetoed the measure, and he urged them to not proceed because he said, we're going to get sued over this, and they are. They overrode his veto and did it anyway because these are crazy leftist lunatics in Jackson County, and they do not care about the law or the Constitution. The problem that we have right now is that our current preemption law was passed in an era when we all kind of expected that people would follow the law. These days, as we know, that is a very different situation. These big blue cities will do whatever the heck they want unless we have more teeth in the law. So what we're going to do is modify preemption to give, again, civil penalties. And that way, a gun owner in Jackson County who is stopped or arrested or cited or charged or convicted of this bogus statute can sue the agency in civil court for damages. He does not have to wait anymore on the actions of anybody else to come to his aid. That is what we need right now. The bill was heard in committee on Monday. It was a very calm committee, which is kind of unusual. There's no vote taken that day. They usually happen a week later, and that vote should happen as early as Monday or Tuesday of next week. So from there, it should be floor eligible and ready to go. So we've also had a committee hearing in the House on our bills to ban red flag gun seizures. That is, we got here, HB 459. And HB 434. There's two almost identical bills moving right now through the House, one from Maisie Christensen, one again from Bill Hardwick. These bills would make it a crime for any Missouri law enforcement officer to enforce a red flag gun seizure law. Instead, a Missourian would have to be convicted first. What a novel idea, right? Being convicted of a crime before your guns are taken away. Convicted of a violent felony crime before your firearms could be taken away. It's not a new idea. It's simply a new thing here. Wyoming passed this law last year. It's on the move right now in Georgia, on the move right now in Iowa. It's being filed in lots of red states. This is our version of this bill in the House right now, and the hearing was held last week. I will say this is a tough committee. The general law, I don't mean that in a complimentary way, as in they ask tough questions. No, this is a tough committee insofar as the most pro-gun voices in the Missouri House are not on the General Laws Committee. We have some very timid souls on this committee, and they're going to have to hear from you guys to move this bill out of committee. More on that in the coming days and weeks. So we right now have multiple bills moving through all different parts of the process right now. They're all of them important. I would say, as we have always said, that SAPA remains the most consequential bill we could possibly pass this year. And the reason for it is very simple. We could make Missouri, we already have made Missouri one of the most pro-gun states in the country. If a future Democrat president can ignore state law and use our own cops against us and make them enforce federal gun control laws, then all we've accomplished here in Jeff City will be, in some ways, for nothing. We have to put SAPA back on the books to make sure Missouri cops cannot be used against Missourians by a future Democrat president. So to that end, do me a favor, hit the link below and tell your rep and senator to vote yes on SAPA when it comes up on the floor for a vote. Again, it's HB 1175 and SB 23. They're moving very quickly, but it can easily stall out. We can also have bad amendments added to the bill. There's lots of ways for the left and or some rhinos to tank the bill. So make your voice heard, hit the link, take action, and we'll keep you guys informed. Take care and stay safe. Hey guys, MOFC is fighting hard to expand Second Amendment freedom to make sure our children's children have a right to keep and bear arms. Get involved in this fight today. Number 1, sign up for text alerts. Number 2, follow us on X. And number 3, like and subscribe for more content.